Good evening. And welcome to the students and families of the class of 2026. Welcome. It is a pleasure to meet you all tonight. My name is Susan Ketch, and I'm the principal of the high school. And we're going to talk to you a lot tonight about some things to get you started with the process of integrating into the high school. I want to assure the students that there is nothing to be worried about. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to work hard. You're going to play hard. You're going to try new things. And you're going to have a wonderful 4 years here. I was thinking this afternoon that a year ago, we were doing this evening on film through Zoom because we couldn't get together. So it makes me really happy to have everyone here in the auditorium so we can see each other and meet each other. And I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about right away is that there's a lot of ways to communicate with us at the high school. That can be through phone calls or emails. It can, I do a monthly newsletter along with the building leadership team. We create a monthly letter out to families. There's a quarterly newsletter that goes out that really encompasses a lot of material. So we have a lot of ways that we communicate with you regularly. Power School Announcer Swift Reach, you will see that from us often. When there is something directly for this class, we will send it to students and families of this class, and there are also times when we send out to the entire school. There are quarterly parent meetings. That's something that you parents might find helpful. This year we've been doing them virtually to ease some of the issues. We've actually had a little bit better attendance via Zoom meetings than when we have them in person. And we haven't yet decided how we're going to do them next year, although I would say we're likely to be back in person for those next year. Tonight you're going to hear a lot of intro information. This is information that will be posted at the middle school tomorrow, and we are filming it so that if there are any families that couldn't come tonight, on the middle school website, as soon as they can get it posted, it'll be there for anyone that missed tonight but might want to watch it and learn what we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about the network of supports that are available here for you at the high school. We really do have a wonderful team to support students here. We're going to talk a little bit about academics and what students might think about taking for classes next year. I know parent-teacher conferences are happening at the middle school, and in the month of March is when we're going to be signing students up for classes. So that will be particularly upcoming information for you. And then at the end, we're going to wrap up with all the different athletics and activities and things like that that will be new and new offerings for you when you get to the high school. I know that the middle school has a lot of great things going on, and we're just going to build on that and offer you even more things to do at the high school. So one thing I like to say to the freshman students coming in is this is a fresh start for you. You're going to meet new teachers in a new building. You can become whatever you'd like to be here at the high school. There are many opportunities. And I would think about this, that you are going to start next year building your resume for what you want to do after high school. So you want to think about taking some opportunities to volunteer or be parts of clubs or activities. Maybe go to work. We have some internships available here. There are a lot of things that you can take advantage of here. Vocational school, alternative education. We have many things for you here. Take advantage of what you'd like to do, along with what you need to do to graduate, And just remember that you're building your resume for what you'd like to do when you graduate from high school. My final hint before I give the stage over is to say that you might start when you're a freshman writing down some of the things. If you volunteer or a workshop you got invited to or things, you might start writing that down on a piece of paper and keep it somewhere safe, so that when you become a junior and you start writing your resume, everything you've done, you've got a list of it and you don't forget anything important. It's amazing how many things you'll do throughout high school, and it's a good idea to keep a list so you don't forget anything. So with that, I'm going to turn the stage over to Mr. Brown and Mr. Theriault, who are going to, the two assistant principals here, and they're going to get you started on the different supports here at the high school. Again, it's so nice to meet all of you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Nate Theriault, assistant principal here at the high school, along with Mr. Brown. A couple of things about the administrative structure here. For the most part, I think next year's crop of freshmen are going to deal primarily with Mr. Brown. So he'll probably be the face and name that you'll know the best. And that you'll want to know the best, but we may run into each other from time to time, and I can certainly be of help and assistance to you. So a couple of words here about our network of support. If we could go ahead and forward the slide here, thank you. So we wanted to take some time tonight to talk a little bit to students and families about the networks of support that are available here at the high school. To students, I would say every person you're going to meet here over the next 4 years is an opportunity for you to build this network. There are a lot of adults at the high school here that are eager to work with you, and you really want to approach every interaction as an opportunity to really get to know these people and figure out how they can help you. At some point in high school, my guess is you're going to need some level of support from some adult, whether it might be somebody to shake your hand to congratulate you for something, or reinforce that you're doing something well, or maybe even a shoulder to cry on. So think about how you can build that network of support during your time here at the high school. I would say a couple of supports seem to be really, really critical for students to know about, especially in the early going. Firstly, the administration here. Like I said, Mr. Brown and I, we work out of what we call Admin 2. It's the office right over here at the top of the stairs. Students, if you ever have any questions when you enter high school, that's not a bad place to begin. Mr. Brown and I handle discipline, we handle attendance issues, we also handle support and safety plans as well as other things as needed. So don't hesitate to step into Admin 2 and ask a question if you have one. It's a great place to start. If we don't have the answer there for you, we can certainly get the answer to you. The AEAST and Advisory Program is sort of another support that students will become very familiar with here at the high school. AEAST stands for Academic Support and Enrichment Time, academic enrichment and support time. That occurs daily. That setup is very similar to RISE and CREW at the high school, but our AEAST is a daily intervention block or enrichment block. It moves around a little bit in our schedule to make sure we meet the needs of our vocational students, but it is something that's available to every student here at the high school. If students or parents, if your student is ever struggling, it's never a bad place to start asking questions about how AEAST time is used or should be used. That's often a first stop for us when it comes to implementing academic support. The other side of that is the advisory program. We run advisory twice monthly here at the high school. It happens during the same time as that AEAST time. We just call it advisory and we block it off. Our advisory program is really geared towards supporting students' social and emotional well-being. We've got a 4-year framework in place currently at the high school for our advisory program. It is tied directly to CASEL, which is a framework for social and emotional learning and skills. And so we have a 4-year program of about 65 to 70 lessons or so for students where they get some explicit instruction and some work in social emotional learning and skills. And they also get some time to play too. We have a couple of freebies in there that teachers and students design together as a way to kind of build relationships and again add to that network of support. A couple of other things I want to highlight in that left-hand column, especially for new students coming into the building. We also have campus safety and security here in combination with our building support team. So we have an admin support team here at the high school that helps us manage building safety and security. Our school resource officer is Officer Plord. He's a wonderful asset to students here at the high school. He's very, very visible, and he loves to get to know students. And I think similar to administrators, he wants to be seen in both a positive light as well as a support role. So if you ever have any questions about anything going on, or if you ever have a safety concern here at the building, Officer Plord is a great place to start. Mr. Yo and Mr. Coombs are other members of our safety team here at the high school and our admin support team. They are also very, very visible. They manage other elements of school here and help the admin team as needed. They are never a bad place to go to if you have questions about something or if you need some help with something. Mr. Brown, I think that takes care of everything on my side of the screen that I want to highlight. I'll turn it over to you.
Hi everyone. So like Mr. Terrio said, I will be the assistant principal for the incoming 9th grade class, and I will stay with this group until they graduate. So really looking forward to working with all of you and really being as supportive as I can for your time here at Scarborough High School. As you can see, there's a big list of supports, and I think there's no question this is a large high school, and I think one of the best benefits of going to a large school is we have a lot of supports. So please, students, take advantage of those supports. It's really there to help you. I'll touch upon some of these quickly. Nurses, we have 2 full-time nurses as well as a nurse assistant, and they're during the tour. After this, you'll likely see where the nurses are. Obviously, they have been quite busy the last couple of years with COVID, but we're really lucky to have that nursing team. You'll hear from Wendy Spalding, who is our guidance department head. We have 4 guidance counselors, and that's another person of support that will stay with you for 4 years. So it's based on the alphabet. So A through K, you'll have Ms. Spalding, and then L through Z, we'll be posting for a new guidance counselor. Mr. Walker is retiring, but that will be the same person for the 4 years while you're here. Social work, you'll hear from Elise Lahotsky today about the social work services, but that's another great team that we have. Guidance and social work are in the same office suite, and they're very supportive for our students. And the study center is a really good place, and I think you can if you go to the next slide. So the study center is one of the best programs that we have here. We have 2 full-time teachers, Mr. Hassan and Ms. Sullivan. Mr. Hassan will focus ELA and social studies, but also has helped students with math. And then Ms. Sullivan, her focus area is math and science. So it's just a great place. There's 2 ways to go to the study center. One is to be scheduled in during your study hall. Students will often have 1 or 2 study halls during their schedule, so they can be scheduled in permanently, or students can go there in the morning and get a pass. So it's really just a structured, study halls are great too. There's a teacher in there, but the study center just gives students kind of a more structured approach, and certainly helps with any academic supports, whether it's based on the content, executive functioning, stuff like organization, those type of things. We've also expanded our credit recovery. So if students do fail a class, we really try to have some supports in there through credit recovery options. And those, we use a program called Edgenuity, and that's primarily housed in the study center. So again, that's a great place. They definitely work on the idea that the student has to buy in. So we don't typically just schedule a student in the study center because a parent would want to. We'd often, one of the teachers in the study center would talk with the parent, talk with the student about some of their goals, because the student really has to buy in for that program to work. You can go to the next slide. All right, I will turn it over to Ms. Spalding.
Hello, welcome. I'm Ms. Spalding. Like Mr. Brown said, I'm one of the 4 school counselors in our guidance office. We also have 5 social workers, and this is Ms. Lahotsky, one of our social workers. Together, the counselors and social workers make up a very supportive team, and we're there to make sure that your child is ensure that they successfully transition to the high school. I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Lahotsky for a few minutes to talk a little bit about social work services and what they offer.
Can I have the next slide, please? So I'm one of 4 social workers. We also have 1 LCPC in-house, and 4 of us are full-time, and LCPC is here part-time now. That service might be expanded. We also offer a lot of different services. So we have a great range of clinical background, and we also connect with the middle school to make sure that we kind of know what's going on for you guys, so there can be a smooth transition as you come up. If you ever have questions for us, it's easy to access us on the website. Shoot us an email. If you pick the wrong person, we're happy to pass you off to the person who's the right fit for you, or has already worked with your kid, or worked with you if you're one of the kids and you can't remember who it was that you got to meet with during the day. It's a pretty welcoming office. You can walk right in and say hi to Ms. Sutyak at the front desk. Oh, is she retiring? Well, you'll say hi to someone else who's nice too. Congratulations, Ms. Sutyak. But any of us, you can grab us, flag us down in that office, and we'll try to make sure that you have a place to go. So the school can feel really big and overwhelming at first. We want to help you get used to it. We want to help you manage it, and we want to help connect you to the right people that Mr. Brown was mentioning earlier. Like I said, if you ever have any questions as a student or a parent, reach out, ask the question. We're here for you.
So one of the things I'd like to talk to you about is some of the different pathways you can take while you're here, and some of the different offerings that might not apply to you your first year of high school, but will certainly be options as you move along. Obviously, the academic courses that we offer here are very strong. We offer about 28 different AP courses. We have a very challenging curriculum here for those that are looking for that. We do focus on the 5 main guiding principles, and those are embedded into all of our classes. We do have early college options for students. We do have what some of you may know of as vocational school. The term is moving to career and technical education, but we can send students to Westbrook Vocational and to PATHS, and they have amazing programs. Most students access CTE programming their junior and senior year. We also have an alternative ed program that's probably been in place here at this high school for about 30 years. And that is a great program for students that are struggling a little bit in the traditional program. Our students that go to Alt-Ed typically stay there through graduation, and we have an extremely high rate of graduation in that program. So that's a wonderful option for the students that are interested in that. We also have a career placement counselor that is full-time focused on that. She teaches our internship classes for juniors and seniors, but she also organizes a ton of opportunities, from having speakers come in and talk to students about certain careers, to field trips that she does with certain teachers in certain courses to expand the knowledge of our students. And she does a lot of field work as well. So she's very busy and offers a lot to this curriculum. There are also times when an independent study or a long-term project might be an option. One example is some of our visual art teachers will do independent studies with our seniors that are looking at art school, and they help them put their whole portfolio together so that they're ready to apply for art school. So we do those types of things, and we do have adult education in the building in the evenings. So there are just many different pathways you can take while you're here at high school. And then I'm going to turn it over to Wendy, who's going to talk a little bit about your graduation requirements. What are the courses you need to take in the 4 years you're here in order to earn that diploma?
Great. So we're here to talk about graduation requirements. Seems a little funny to talk about, but our 4 years with you will fly by very quickly. There are certain credits that you need to graduate from Scarborough High School, including 4 credits of English. You'll take an English class every year, your freshman English, sophomore, junior, senior. 3 credits of math, 3 credits of science and social studies, a credit of fine arts, which you'll find there's many different options to get your fine arts credit, a PE credit, a technology credit, and then your elective credits. So this is something that we meet with students in large groups, and we'll also meet with you individually every year. We'll talk about your 4-year plan for academics, and we'll change it and tweak it as we go along. So this is something to be very mindful of, that you do need to earn your credits, but we're also going to help you along the way and make sure that you're on track and we know what you need and help you sign up for your courses. We'll go to the next slide. So some course registration process, lots of important dates here. On Friday, is it Friday, Mr. Brown? Yep, so Friday, Mr. Brown will be going down to the middle school to meet with many of you and bringing about 20 high school students. They'll be there to answer some questions and give you an overview from their perspective of being a high school student. So I think that's probably one of students' most favorite times, when they get to actually talk with high school students. Then you'll have some parent-teacher conferences in between then. And then myself, so I do work with students, last names A through K, and then Mr. Walker will be coming down with me, who works with the last half of the alphabet, and we'll be going down March 28th and April 4th. We'll be helping you with online registration, helping you pick out your classes, answering any questions. And then we'll have school vacation coming up once again in April, and then we have a goal to distribute your schedules out to you the first week in June. I'm smiling, but you can't tell. So if we go to the next slide, talking about course expectations and level criteria. So we do have 5 different levels of classes. Teachers will recommend a level for your student or for yourself. We can go over some of the levels. So the level 5 would be our advanced placement or our college credit program. As Ms. Ketch said, we offer a little over 28 AP classes. So this is what would be included in there. AP classes are really engaging for students, and they're very intense and they're rigorous. They're college credit, so it's something to be very mindful of. Our level 4 classes are honors level. The expectation is that students will have demonstrated excellent achievement and success in the academic areas, and they want to work hard. It's going to be recommended from teachers teachers recommend level 4. And also you have to meet the prerequisites for that. Level 3, these courses are designed for college-bound students, and we emphasize the knowledge and skills which are essential to be successful in the academic world. Level 2, courses are designed for students in grade 9 to 12 who require a little bit more assistance in gaining academic skills. And then level 1 is designated for students who find basic academic work a little more difficult, and they may need a little more individual help. And again, those will be recommended for the students. One thing just to consider when you're picking your classes and which level is right for you, there is going to be some teacher recommendation, but we really want students to challenge themselves, take the most rigorous courses they can while also being successful. So if you are the student, keep in mind, you don't have to take the same classes as your friends. We want it to be individualized. We want you to work hard, and we want you to really challenge yourself. So please think of that when you're thinking of which level course you may be interested in taking. And we'll go to the next slide. I think that's you.
I'm back. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our schedule, which will be different from your middle school schedule. At the high school, we have a red day and a white day. And of the 8 blocks that you will sign up for with courses and study halls, 4 of them will be on a red day and 4 of them will be on a white day. The length of classes will be different too. Our classes run 75 minutes long, And our A East or academic enrichment time is 35 minutes every day as well. And you will find at the high school level, your 75-minute class gets broken up a lot. You may do one activity for 20 minutes and then move to another one for 25. The class will change up a lot within that 75 minutes. So I know sometimes freshmen get a little nervous that that's a really long period, but I think you will adjust to it, and it's not the same thing for 75 minutes. There are changes within the period. The advisory program happens 2 times a month, and I think I've covered everything there. So then I'm going to show you a picture of our schedule. It's a little bit confusing, but for those of you that are visual, I wanted to share this. So on a red day, you might have period 1 from 8 to 9:15, then maybe A East. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, A East comes after your second class, and on Tuesday and Thursday, it comes after your first class. So that does shift a little bit, and again, that is for our vocational students. So whether the voc students go in the morning or the afternoon, they can get to some of the A East times every week. So you'd have, on a Thursday, let's say, on a red day, you'd have block 1, and then you'd have academic support time, then you'd have block 2. We eat during block 3, and most freshmen get to eat first lunch. That's not 100%, but most freshmen eat first lunch. We think it's a nice way for you to be able to see your friends at lunchtime. And then the last block of the day is from 1:10 to 2:25. And again, if you see that second block, it tells you when A East is on the different days of the week. Now, if we turn to the next page, it talks a little bit about a typical freshman schedule. So if you look at the left, you will most likely all take English, math, social studies, and science. Science is a single period for environmental science, unless you take AP environmental science, and then you'll have a lab with that. So if that's 4 of your periods of 8, you still have 4 more to figure out what you want to do. So you may choose to do something in the right-hand column. You may choose to take a visual or performing arts class. Maybe you're going to be in band. Maybe you're going to be in chorus. You may take a STEM class or a PE during your freshman year. Maybe you are starting, or maybe you are continuing foreign language. And as a general recommendation, I think it's a good idea for every freshman to have 1 study hall and a little time during the day to do academic work. We don't require that, and you as students and you as families know what's best for your students, but in general, we think 1 study hall is a good thing. Students could take up to 2 study halls. You must have 6 classes in your schedule. But you can vary those once you've got your cores in there for some other things that you'd really like to do your freshman year. And the guidance counselors coming down to work with you this month, they will help you narrow down your courses and what you should take for electives. So that's just a little bit of an idea of what you need to do. I can remember being an 8th grader. It was a little while ago. But I remember that I took a piece of paper and I kind of charted out all 4 years and what I might like to take each year to fit in all the things I'd like. You may want to start doing that a little bit, thinking about what do I want to take as a freshman, as a sophomore, as a junior, and a senior. But just know this, just because you chart it out now and you're thinking about it, you will have plenty of opportunities to revise that plan, expand that plan, and do different things. So don't think that just because you've got a plan set before you even get to high school, that has to be what you do. You're going to grow and change, and your plan can grow and change too. So with that, we're going to turn the stage over to Mr. Legage, who's going to talk about all the athletics and activities and the many things you might do after school.
Well, good evening, everyone. And I'll just start by saying that I'll remind you all what Ms. Ketch said at the beginning, and it's a real opportunity for students to start new again when they go to high school. You don't get that opportunity too often. And so I want to especially reiterate that only because if there was something in middle school that you wanted to do after school but just didn't dare to, whatever, high school provides you that opportunity to try that thing. So we can go on, Eric. So in terms of athletics, these are the athletic activities that we offer here at the high school currently. A little different than the middle school is that there are not 2 winter seasons, so you will have to make a choice. But you can see what we offer in the different seasons there. One thing that I will mention, and Ms. Ketch just kind of talked about it, and they discussed the levels. If you, and I know this seems like a long ways away, but if you think that you might like to participate in athletics beyond high school, then all of you parents will want to go to the NCAA site and make sure that you're enrolling from the beginning in the correct courses to be eligible through that, either the NAIA or the NCAA. That information is available on our website, so you can go to our website and link to it from there. Or I'm sure that one of the guidance counselors would be able to assist you with that information as well. But there are certain courses that you will need to take to be NCAA eligible. Okay, so think about that. And there's our website link. It's very easy. And we can go on now to activities, I think. And here are all our club activities that we offer. We offer about 30 programs. Not all of them are listed here. Some are volunteer programs that aren't all listed here. I'm sure we're missing some on this list, but you can go to our activities webpage as well and see all the activities that are offered and see the advisors who advise that. All of the activities except for one are advised by teachers in the building. So you can see all the different Oak Hill players. Some of you might know is our musical in the fall, and so that's what that group is called. Some of you might have done middle school theater. It's the same director, does both our middle school and our Oak Hill Players programs. So you can see all the different activities. For parents, I think that one of the ways that you can be involved as well is through our boosters. We have a little over 30 booster groups between athletics and student activities. And we have a little over 500 volunteers that volunteer through our boosters to help raise funds to be able to offer all the programs that we offer and fund them to provide all the services that we provide kids. So really a great opportunity for not only students to be involved in after-school activities, but also parents to be involved in those activities as well through our boosters. And I think that's all the slides for me, right, Eric? Yes, so I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Terrio to finish up.
So a couple of quick things here before we bring a close to this presentation. Firstly, last year we had created some online content as part of the Step Up Night for students and parents. We wanted to include that information again this year. As Ms. Ketch said earlier, we will be sending this slide deck out. And so you'll see the building tour and Step Up Q&A. Again, those were created last year. Those are links to videos. The building tour was put together by some of our students in a video productions class last year, and then the Step Up Q&A was a question and answer session that we put together with students who will be, I believe, 10th graders this year, possibly 11th. But the questions, I think, are all really good, and again, that could supplement some of those visits that 8th graders have gotten so far and are continuing to get from high school students and staff. The last thing I want to call your attention to, we are providing building tours here tonight for families that are here. We have a number of Key Club students who are present outside this room right now in the lobby area out there. They're going to group up into teams of probably 2 or 3 or so. And if you could just kind of, I see a couple of them running in now, if you could just kind of gravitate towards them, they will quickly organize